Welcome to Airavadum channel. Before entering research and subscribe the channel for streaming other videos. Press the bell icon for new notification. Place your feedback and questions in the comments box. Thank you.
Good morning. Today we are going to see the following learning objectives: test, classification of tests, and merits of tests. In the screen, you are seeing how to make a good decision. These are the following components required for making a decision, because a good decision helps us to realize the education goals that we have set. We need to collect as much information as possible. What is the information that we are going to collect in the day's class? We need to collect the information from the learners then and there at random. Only then we will be in the position to understand how far the information is transferred and how far the information he has understood. For that reason, we need to have the collection of information at large. The next one, collect accurate information as possible. What is that accurate information we are in need of? We are in need of at which domain the learner is, whether he is at the cognitive level or he is at the affective level or he is at the psychomotor domain level. So in order to understand that, if we ask pointed question to the domain, we will be getting the response. We will be in the position to decide what domain he is. The next one, collect the relevant information. We need to understand whether the day's content is rich or not. For that, we need to collect the relevant responses from the learner. So as much information as possible, the as accurate information as possible, the as relevant information as possible. Only then the realization of education goal can be done, because the educational goal depends on the accuracy of the judgments and inferences made by decision. In order to make this thing alive, we involve the following things: test, measurement, and evaluation. As you already know that evaluation is a process that uses measurement, and the purpose of measurement is to accurately collect information using tests for evaluation. Improved measurement leads to accurate evaluation. Now let us concentrate on test and data. We have already had so many definitions. Now let us see what a test is. An instrument or activity used to accumulate data on a person's ability to perform a specified task. In kinesiology, the content of these tests are usually either cognitive, skill, or fitness. The kinesiology over here is the process that is involved in the test. So test is the instrument that helps us to collect the data during the process or at the end of the process. Now we'll know what data is. The translation of behavior into a numerical or verbal descriptor, which is then recorded in written form. That is called data. So we are conducting the test to collect the information. Once the information is collected, we process and give the data. And data is further measured and led to the process of assessment and evaluation. The basic component of test is item. So what item means? At the school level, if a teacher is conducting a test, the questions involved in that is said to be the item. In a higher education, if the researcher, with the help of a tool, gathers some information, the statements in the tool are said to be the item. So item is nothing but the question or the statement. A test may be administered formally or informally. What do you mean by formal administration? Formal administration means a teacher administering a test in the school is said to be a formal administration. The informal means of administration. A parent asks his ward to read an English paragraph to know how far his English language is. This is called informal way of testing. The test is classified based on various elements like kinds of items, standardization, administrative conditions, language emphasis of responses, emphasis on time, scoring reference scheme, and purpose of objectives. We will see each one in detail. The first classification based on kinds of items. So the test based on kinds of item, we have the following list. The first one is choice item. We are very clear about the multiple choice question. The examinee selects a correct answer from the choices given below the question. The next one is completion item. The answer given by the examinee by completion of sentences. The best example could be the fill up the blanks. Next, short answer item. The examinee is required to supply the answer either in one word or in one or two sentences. So that's the short answer. And an essay item, examinee is required to structure a response, usually of some detail. This essay type in specific helps to understand the creativity level of the learner. Next, we'll see the test based on standardization. Generally, there are two. One is standardized test, another one is teacher made test. It's very clear from the word that it's a standardized test where we have fixed norms or rules. And once the test is conducted, we get the data, and the data is being processed. The data is being processed from a standardized score, and from that we give the report. That is called standardized test. And a teacher made test, this one is developed by the individual teacher to evaluate his teaching learning process. Generally, teacher made tests are said to be non-standardized tests. The next classification is based on administrative conditions. So based on administrative conditions, we have two things. One is individual test, the another one is group test. If you are going to administer the test only for a single person, it is called individual test. And in the group test, it is administered to several persons at a time. The next classification is based on language emphasis of responses. Under this, we have verbal test, non-verbal test, performance test, and non-language test. Verbal test, so emphasis is on the use of language, example reading. Non-verbal test, extensive use of pictures, example vocabulary. And performance test, perform a task instead of answering a question, example with the help of puzzle pictures. The next one is non-language test. This one is administered with the help of gestures, especially for deaf and dumb children. The next classification is based on emphasis on time. So that's with speed test, the speed with which the examinee answers the test. Most of the competitive exams fall under this category, speed test. And the next classification is based on scoring reference scheme. Under this, we have norm reference test and criterion reference test. The norm reference test is the one which has norms amended to the situation. In this norm reference test, the individual's result is compared with the peer team people's. The best example could be a class test. In the criterion reference test, the individual needs to satisfy already prefixed objectives. Only then he will be going for the next level. That is called criterion reference test. The next classification is based on the purpose of objectives. Intelligence test, personality test, achievement test, aptitude test, and attitude test, the purpose which it is stated. So far we have seen the classification of test based on kinds of items, standardization, administrative condition, language emphasis of responses, emphasis on time, scoring reference scheme, and purpose of objective. Now let us see the merits of test. They are handy, they help us to collect information in an economical way, they are less time consuming, they are objective in nature, and they provide significant means of comparing individuals. Thank you.